I moved into the old apartment building on Lincoln Avenue in late October last year. It wasn't my first choice, but it was all I could afford after the company I worked for downsized and cut my hours. The building was quiet, almost too quiet. Long hallways, faded wallpaper, and a smell that mixed dust with something metallic, something I couldn't quite place. My apartment, room 406, was small but neat. A single window looked over the street below, and at night, the streetlight outside cast a pale orange glow across my bed. The landlord, Mr. Harris, was a thin, gray-haired man. He smiled politely, but never made eye contact. When he handed me the keys, he said, "Don't worry about the noises at night. Old pipes, nothing more." I didn't think much of it then. The first few nights passed quietly. I unpacked, ate takeout, and tried to get used to the stillness. I could sometimes hear faint footsteps in the hall, but I never saw anyone. The building felt hollow. Then, on the fourth night, I heard something strange. It started just after midnight. A soft, rhythmic tapping. 3 slow knocks on the wall behind my bed. Then silence. I told myself it was the pipes. Old buildings make noises, right? But when I pressed my ear to the wall, I swear, I heard breathing. Soft, shallow breathing, right on the other side of that wall. The next night, I stayed up late scrolling on my phone, trying not to think about it. Around 1 a.m., it happened again. 3 slow knocks. Pause. Then 3 more. I turned on the light. The sound stopped. The next morning, I asked Harris if anyone lived next door. He paused for a second too long before answering. Room 408 has been empty for months. Water damage. You're the only tenant on that floor. My stomach tightened. If the room was empty, then who was knocking? That night, I couldn't sleep. I sat on the bed, lights on, waiting. Midnight passed quietly. Then, at 2 a.m., 3 knocks. Right on cue. My voice came out barely a whisper. "Who's there?" A long silence followed. Then a voice. Faint, female voice. As if she were terrified. "Help me." I froze. The voice was right behind the wall. Shaking, I whispered, "Who are you?" No answer. Just silence. The next morning, I cornered Harris again. "Someone's in 408, I told him. His face hardened. "I told you it's empty. Stay out of it." That evening, I stood outside the door of room 408. The paint was peeling. The number plate hung crooked. I tried the handle. Locked. But from inside, I thought I heard something. A faint shuffle. Then a dull thud. When I mentioned it again, Harris snapped. "You don't go near that room." Understood. His voice trembled slightly when he said it. That night, I dreamed of a woman's face. Pale, bruised, eyes wide with terror. She was hitting a wall, over and over, her mouth moving soundlessly. When I woke up, my hand was pressed against the same wall where I'd heard the knocking. The next few nights were worse. My phone battery started dying overnight, even when plugged in. My mirror reflection sometimes lagged, just half a second behind. And once, I saw a figure by the window. When I turned, it was gone. I tried recording the sounds one night, but when I checked the file the next morning, it was corrupted. Only static. Except, for half a second, a voice broke through. A whisper. "He buried me in the wall." That was it. That was the night I decided to leave. I started packing, but something caught my eye. The wall behind my bed looked wrong. The paint was bubbling, the plaster soft to the touch. And there was a smell. Rotting, sweet, and foul. I pressed on the wall and felt something hollow beneath. Panic rose in my throat. I ran downstairs to find Harris. His office was dark, and the door was open. On his desk, there was a single, rusted key and a note. "Don't open it." I should have left, but I didn't. Curiosity is stronger than fear. I took the key upstairs and unlocked room 408. The air inside was cold and heavy. Dust clung to everything. There was a brownish-red stain on the carpet near the far wall. I turned on the light switch. Nothing. Only the faint glow from the hall. Scratches covered the wall. Deep, desperate marks trailing downward. When I touched the wall, it felt uneven, like it had been patched up. Then, from inside the wall, 3 knocks. Very slow, deliberately, end was close. The voice came again, faint but clear. He buried me here. I stumbled back, heart racing, as the air grew colder. The walls felt like they were closing in. I dropped the key, ran out, and slammed the door behind me. My phone had no signal, no Wi-Fi, nothing. I ran for the exit, but Harris was standing there, waiting, his face pale, eyes hollow. "I told you not to open it," he said softly. I demanded answers, yelling at him to explain. He sighed, rubbing his forehead. "Years ago, a woman lived in 408. Her boyfriend used to visit. Neighbors heard them fighting all the time. Then one day, the noise stopped. The police came. The room was empty. They said she left town." He looked up at me, his eyes glistening. "But she didn't." He swallowed hard. "Some nights, she still calls for help. I left before sunrise. Didn't pack. Didn't look back. But even now, some nights when I'm half asleep, I still hear it. 3 slow knocks. And I wonder if she ever got out."